Hey YouTube, DDR guy 300 here again. Just watched a video from DesolatorMagic talking about the new mastery system, and it kind of made me want to go ahead and do another one of my own talking about it. I already talked about kind of what it looked like in my last video, and the only thing I was wrong about was just that you're only able to get 1,000 experience a day. I thought it was just you could grind through it if you wanted to. I was wrong about that. Um, but let's talk about what the mastery system really is, and what I'm arguing it is a it's a symptom of a larger problem of MTG Arena as a whole. Now, DesolatorMagic, he goes through and he, examines what stuff you get, how you're able to get to, rank 100, which is just going to happen with the way he puts it, promotional events and free codes that give you XP. Like for right now, there's a code he says that is what is it? Level up, capital L, capital U, and it gives you 2,000 XP. So yay! There's a code that gives you 2% of the total amount of XP that you need to finish the tree. And yeah, I don't really have. This one's going to be a little rambly, not that the other ones aren't, but um, I just wanted to talk really quick about what the actual this mastery tree is. It's pretty pathetic, and I'm not sure why DesolatorMagic was like singing its praises, because if you look here, what you get, what's advertised here. We're not even going to talk about this whole spend, however much more money that is. It's like at least $10 or around. No, I think it's like $10. Like if you buy the best pack, but we're not even going to talk about this. Just a regular mastery tree pass. $200 plus value when fully unlocked. Desolator seemed to think that this was true and a really good value and pretty legit for like considering everything you get for how much you're paying into it. Um, I completely disagree. This whole 200 plus dollar value when fully unlocked. This very phrase here is just insulting to 99% of probably the player base, because here's here's what's happening. Here, let me go over to the mastery pass. All right, let me tell you something, wizards. This right here, packs, coins, and gems are the only things people in this game care about. The only things. Yes, the it's nice to get the random mythic, I guess, and then the guaranteed mythics at certain points. I forget where the heck they are, but you are guaranteed them at some juncture. I think you get like 4 different mythics from the set, unless they changed it. Why the hell would they change it? Come on. It's gotta be here. Oh, here it is. Like Chandra's Flame's Fury, once you hit rank 30, level 30, whatever it is. None of this cares. This is inconsequential. All right. The only thing most people are going to care about is the packs they can get and the wild cards they accumulate from that. Um, the rest of this is worthless to everyone. Like, we're not assigning a value to it. We wouldn't have gotten these cosmetic upgrades in the first place, and because I guess I'll go ahead and talk about one of the large overarching issues that this game has, which is just this platform is horrifically overpriced. And I kind of touched on it last video, but I'm just revisiting it here. But MTG Arena is so insanely priced, it's ridiculous. Because not only are virtual goods packs, not only do they come out to $1 a piece for virtual goods packs, and not only is it the same economy, not only is it the same economy as paper money, except in order to acquire any rare uncommon mythic, you have to burn a wild card. So whether it's a 50-cent rare or like a $10 shock land, it costs you the same wild card. Set that aside. Maybe I'll come back to it later, but set that BS aside. Not only is it $1 a pack with a completely different economy than actual paper Magic, this is how much it costs to upgrade to cosmetics. Okay, style mastery system. What's something? Here we go. Common cosmetic upgrades. 400 gems. That's $2 to upgrade one common card to the fancy cosmetic upgrade. Let's see this one here. Uncommons. It goes up 200. Actually, shoot. Actually, did they might have reduced it a little bit, but we'll see. Uncommons, $3 for an upgrade. Rares. No, they didn't reduce it. Rares, 1,000 gems. $5 to upgrade a single rare to this cosmetic upgrade. And then mythics, you guessed it. Let's see. Come on. Here we go. Resplendent Angel. 1,200 gems. $6 to upgrade a mythic to this. To this. I mean, it's very pretty, yes. But to upgrade it to a card style, $6? This is ridiculous. When I first started playing this game, I thought, because, I'm stupid, I was kind of assuming that this number was just kind of divisible by regular currency as far as what would be deemed, reasonable. And of course, it's not going to be $12, so it's got to be what, $1.20? And it's like, it's still expensive if you're trying to like bling out an entire deck, really just for cosmetic purposes. But it's worth it if you think you're going to enjoy it that much. But at $6, like I didn't realize it was five. It took me a couple of days to realize it was 5 times. Everything was 5 times what I thought it was. It was absolutely bonkers. So no, under most circumstances, would no normal player be purchasing any kind of cosmetic upgrades. So at least at these prices, no player would be doing that. So to insinuate that you're getting cosmetic upgrades and that is part of the rewards process for having the season pass is completely bogus. It's like, I don't really have a good example off of the top of my head, but it's like if you were forced to just like buy something that you wouldn't normally buy in the first place because it's so ridiculously overpriced and you're like, I'm not taking part in this, and then they try to sweeten the deal by offering some kind of package deal that knocks off, not even knocks off the price, it's just you're not going to buy it in the first place. So it's like, why are you trying to entice me to buy something I'm just not going to buy? It's very insulting to see that whole, 200+ fully value when unlocked. It's not anywhere close. Let me tell you what this mastery pass is worth, okay? First things first, if you haven't bought the Explorer bundle and the one-time welcome bundle, which is like $5 for, it's a one-time bundle you can buy, $5. You get 2,500 gems, and right now 5 packs of core 2020. So from those 2 packs alone, setting aside the value of the cosmetics, which again is kind of negligible, setting aside the value of the cosmetics and the value of the packs themselves, you can get 6,000 gems straight up for $20. So it's not, if you haven't bought those yet, you can go ahead and buy them and purchase this for $20 and get yourself leftover 2,600 gems. And the total gems that you can actually get, every 10 levels has one of these 200 gems. So at the end of the season, you're going to have an extra 2,000 gems. So you just tack that onto your leftover 2,600. That's 46. You've got another season's worth right there that you don't have to even pay for. So as long as you don't spend your gems on anything else. So really, it's really the season pass, or the mastery pass they're calling it here, is really only like $10. It's really only $10 because let's see. 2,000 plus the 2,600 you would have left over this time around gives you 46. Take off 34. You're still left with 1,200. At the end of that season, get another 2,000. So 2,000 plus the 1,200, you're at 32. And I mean, you can just get, if you wanted to, if you felt like spending the gold that it took to get into a draft event, which is like 5,000, I think. You know, you could pretty easily get, even if you lost all of the draft events, which would be pretty crappy, but you can just play, you know, a small handful of draft events and get that other 200 gems and get your next mastery pass. So really the first 3 seasons of this you can get for 20 bucks. So for math's sake, we're just going to say that it's $10 to buy it, because that's basically what it eventually ends up averaging out to. Considering the 2,000 in gems, that's almost half the cost of... No, that's more than half the cost. Getting back 2,000 gems is actually pretty good, which I'm hoping they don't change, because this package is barely worth it as it is, which I will get to. But you get 2,000 gems back at the end of the season for the cost of the Mastery Pass. So really the true cost is only about 1,100 gems. But again, for simplicity's sake, we're just going to say this thing costs on average $10. Alright, so for $10, what is it you get? Again, no one's counting this cosmetic crap. No one's really counting, like, yes, I appreciate knowing what mythic I'm going to get, along with, I guess, being appreciative of getting the random standard mythic once every 10 levels. Like, that's fine. I would have preferred to see like a mythic wild card, but again, it's a random mythic. Who really cares? You can't assign a value to something that you probably wouldn't have wanted or needed anyways. So, and that's another thing. Like, I think it's kind of silly to have these mythics at day 10 like specifically locked. Like, the first mythic you're guaranteed to get is this mythic. The second mythic that you're guaranteed to get at your next 10 levels is this Soren. The third mythic you're guaranteed to get is this Chandra. Like, I feel like there should have been some kind of system where it's like, yes, the same mythics that you eventually unlock given enough levels, like you pick one of them every 10 levels instead of, because, you know, I'm most excited for the Ajani, right? But I'm not going to be able to see it, at least for free, unless I want to use a mythic wildcard. I'm not going to be able to see it until 60 days into the season. Again, assuming if I play every day, which, you know, I'll get to those mechanics in a bit. But anyway, back to what I was talking about with the actual value of this Mastery Pass. I've done the math, and there's about, not counting cosmetic crap, because again, no one cares about it. No one would have ever bought the overpriced cosmetic shit in the first place because it's so goddamn overpriced, okay? Not counting any of that because, again, Desolator, it's worthless to 90% of people. Not counting cosmetic crap, there's $40 worth of value in here. Okay. A quarter of that value is in these gems. It's in the 2,000 gems. The rest of it is in the packs and the coins. So you get, I forget exactly the, what's the word, spread of packs to coins ratio, but counting the packs as 1,000, or counting all the packs and then counting up the value of the coins, you get 30 packs worth of stuff eventually with your Mastery Pass. So at the end of, you know, 90, 100, whatever, no, well, 91 days, I think is what Desolator said. At the end of 91 days, you get 30 packs for the cost of the Mastery Tree. And here's where we come back full circle to the larger issue that is plaguing Arena, is its ridiculous overpriced nature. Because completing the Mastery Tree and buying the Mastery Pass gives you $30 worth of packs basically for $10, because again, we're using the general rule of thumb that applying, you know, having the first players welcome packages or whatever, buying those, and then counting the gems that you accumulate through the season pass, the average cost is truly only about $10. So every 90 days, Wizards of the Coast gives you, if you've been on top of your shit, which is stupid, but I'm going to get to that later, Wizards of the Coast gives you the privilege to purchase 30 packs for a reasonable price. And that's what the Mastery Pass is. And it's stupid, it's insulting. It doesn't address the big thing that's holding back the system, which is the price of everything. Because so you're telling me once every 3 months roughly, I as a free to player will have the opportunity, again assuming that I've been playing every day, I guess, because it's kind of what you need to do. Assuming I've been playing every day, every 3 months, I as a player have the opportunity to buy this Mastery Pass, which just equates to 30 packs for $10 when they'd normally be $30. So all this is doing in the grand scheme of things is saving players who wouldn't have ordinarily spent money anyway because it's so expensive and stupidly overpriced to play. All of those players wind up saving themselves $20 by spending $10, and that's all this is. Again, cosmetics don't matter. But again, I'm rambling now. So moving on from that, yeah, no one, you can't assign a value to cosmetics, and here's one of the issues that I just don't understand. First of all, with cosmetics being so ridiculously overpriced, like really, I'm gonna have to pay, $2 to upgrade a single common, $3 to upgrade uncommons, and then $5 and $6 to upgrade mythics. First of all, there's no reason for that jump from uncommon to rare. Instead of being in the increment of 200, you make it an increment of what, 400. So yeah, 400 gems to 800. No, it was 600 gems to 1,000 gems. There's no reason for that kind of jump. Okay, just make it 200 at every increment if you're going to do it that way. Second of all, here's the problem. Like, okay, here's a good example. I am legitimately considering, even though I've actually spent the gems on the Mastery Pass on my other main account, I'm legitimately considering building Grixis Control because I really want to have just a Nicol Bolas deck. And so I'm still considering it. I still need some more rare wild cards, so we'll see how long that takes. But one of the things I'm going to have to buy, I mean, aside from the obvious essential Bolas bundle, which is in the store, I really want to buy, if I'm going to buy a cosmetic, it's going to be this Ravager guy. But guess what? 1,200 gems, $6 just to upgrade this guy. And, I might do it, I might not, I'm still deciding. But here's the first thing. Here's what I don't understand. Why? Because if we go to the store, okay, I understand what they are trying to show because people are stupid. I understand what they're trying to show when, they have this here cosmetic only, not a card. I get it. You don't want people to be stupid and think, oh, you can just pay to win at this game. And I'm surprised that they kind of let this through, because you should just, first of all, I mean, I've already said it before, your game's ridiculously overpriced, but a very simple, easy first step in not having that be the case is when someone buys a cosmetic, give them a copy of the card. If I buy this Essential Bolas bundle, I'm basically buying, if you gave me a copy of every one of these cards along with the art style, so a single copy along with the art style, it's basically 4,000 gems for the sleeves, the avatar, the card styles, and the 4 different cards. So it's the, let me say that again. So it's 4,000 gems for the sleeves, the avatar, the art style of the cards, and 1 mythic wild card, 1 rare wild card. Okay, 1 mythic wild card and 3 rare wild cards is what's being thrown into it. Because this game isn't, it's not a pay to win system. If you give them a copy of the card, it's we're throwing in wild cards with the deal, because you would have to have burned that type of wild card for the card in the first place. So it's like, why not sweeten the pot? Because, as I'm thinking of building this Grixis Control Bolas deck and thinking about getting the Nicol Bolas the Ravager from M19, while I am still, begrudgingly being like, this is ridiculously overpriced, what would really help me in pushing me forward and to go ahead and committing to it is throw in a copy of the card. Like, if you're going to charge people this, ridiculous amount for this kind of cosmetic upgrade to cards, then at least put a cherry on top, like, of the shit sundae. You can give someone, if they spend $6 to upgrade a mythic to this special art, throw them a bone, throw them a copy of the card, because it's not unheard of to just throw a copy in with it, because there is the wild card system. And you're throwing in a wild card with the purchase of the cosmetic upgrade. It's like, I don't understand why they felt the need. Like, I get people are naturally stupid, but did they get that? I feel like that sentiment that they were afraid of in setting up this cosmetic only not a card nonsense, I feel like that would have solved itself, because the first, second, and third, and however many people who decided to bitch about that, oh, it's pay to win, like, it's easily remedied by, oh, look, there's a wild card system. You can just, like, it's not like you can go, I mean, you can already go out and buy wild cards. It's called just buying packs. That's the pay to win system. That's the give us money, we'll give you packs and help you accumulate your wild card status to make the best decks. That's the pay to win system, not this potential, oh, you can just buy single cards. No, just make it, you're just making it so that you're throwing in a copy of it to sweeten the deal for one card, giving you one extra wild card, one extra specific wild card. Because people aren't going to go out and just buy cosmetic versions of all these cards just so that they can not have to buy packs, because it doesn't make monetary sense. Just go buy the packs, get more cards from the packs, and when you get the wild card, just make the card. Like, it doesn't it doesn't make a lot of sense, because, and again, I've heard it said before, and I'm seeing it, where really what you need is the rares. You know, the mythics are nice, but really rares are the most important and should be a little more frequent, but that's neither here nor there. So yeah, that's one very easy, quick band-aid on the gushing wound that is MTG's Arena. MTG Arena's economy, which is just, you should have included a copy of the card with any time you get a cosmetic upgrade. Like, just, I don't understand why that was left out in this. I don't understand why they went the route of, we want to make sure people don't think this is pay to win. It's not. Like, buy a cosmetic card, you get one copy of it, and that's somehow pay to win. It's not like you're throwing a playset at them. Like, I could see where a playset would be pretty, maybe we shouldn't do that. But, like, if you're giving them one copy out of the probably 3 that they need as an added bonus to you throwing money at them, that's perfectly reasonable. And I don't know why they decided to do this not a card only for cosmetic crap. So that was just another point I wanted to make. I will say that I find it interesting that in Desolator's video, he actually talked about how he was basically a free-to-player. I guess he's been playing. I mean, I've seen his Teferi alternate art, so I know he's been playing since the launch. So he's been playing since then and playing basically every day, and he's only given them, I forget how much he said he's given them over the past however many months, but I know it was like less than $100, which really isn't even anything. But he shows his wildcard accumulation, and I've watched a couple of his deck profiles, and it's like he's got good decks that he's running. So apparently, you know, you can build, given enough patience, whatever deck you want, I guess. I kind of have a hard time believing that, to be honest with you, because it's like, I feel like that's not the case. Like, as a free-to-player, here's where Wizards missed the boat on how they decided to price things, okay? As a free-to-player, you know, if I see that I can get, you know, so many packs a week and so much gold every day that then translates into packs, and I can kind of extrapolate how long it's going to take me to accumulate enough wild cards to make a single deck, I can project that out, and I say to myself, okay, this is going to take forever, but I don't want to spend $1 a pack when I could just kind of wait and see what the meta gets defined as, and eventually just go ahead and make it. make the deck as a free-to-player. Um, that's number one. And number two, that's one of the issues I feel that Arena suffers from is where if you wait long enough, yeah, you can make a deck, but it's one deck. Who wants to play with just one deck, even if it's good? No one. People want to make a variety of different decks, and the way you draw them into it is by making things reasonably priced. You know, you can. It's not going to help you too much, but the bare minimum you could do is to drop the price of packs by half. Make a pack cost 50 cents. And you draw in more people that way. Like I said, that's the bare minimum you can do, because even 50 cents a pack for digital packs is pretty damn steep. You know, I've said it in another video before. You know, I'm thinking like 20, 25 cents a pack, and those things would just fly out the door because people. But I also understand like you have to make sure you're making enough money to, I guess, keep it going. So that's why I'd understand if they only dropped it to 50 cents. But that's like, again, the bare minimum you could do. Because it's too much money the way it is now. Because again, if you're just playing for free and you're learning the wild card system and what it's going to take and how much time it's going to take for you to make a certain deck, and just one deck, mind you. Okay, all of my accounts I've had active for about a month, and they can all build almost one meta deck after a month of playing. That's pathetic. Like, no one wants to play with just one deck. But even in that case, they're not going to be enticed to go and spend an arm and a leg on packs so they can build more decks. Like, you've got to make it. That's why I feel like the 20 and 25 cent, hell, even, you know, 3 for $1 would even be good. It would be enticing to be like, okay, well, maybe I can spend 20 bucks and make a deck that in real life would cost, you know, I don't know, 500 at least. You know, that's enticing. And I get that they want to kind of strike a balance between their online revenue and the physical revenue, because I'm sure they want to convert players to paper Magic, but there's a certain amount of people, a large amount of people, that just don't want to go out and start playing paper Magic. They're going to want to play here. And again, another thing is just that the economy here is completely different. You know, a $10 rare versus a 50-cent rare costs the same wild card to craft here. So, that's just kind of a big ramble about why I think all of this is overpriced and they're just going about it the complete wrong way. Because if it was priced reasonably, to where people could spend a decent chunk of change, or throw them $20 or $30 here and there, and then have enough to make a deck from that, that's going to be real enticing for people to do. And I don't understand why it's not that way, because we all know, most business savvy people understand that a lot of online only, especially if it's not even selling actual goods and it's just selling digital goods and services, those profit margins are, if you'll forgive the pun, money. Those profit margins are a lot bigger than anything physical you'd have to do. Any storefront you'd have to set up, just all of the logistics of your standard business. Online, digital goods, not real goods, are where the profit margins are the juiciest. And I understand the whole trying to strike a balance between the people who play online and converting people to paper, but I feel, and this is the big thing, I feel this is where whatever metrics they're doing that are telling them to go one way or another are just incorrect. And as a result, we have this kind of system. Because most people who have really never played Magic before, like myself, I mean, I've played, but I haven't played in years and years and years. Most people are going to come in here and they're going to want to be, if you make packs cheap enough, they're going to want to be enticed to build, 3 or 4 really cool, really good playing decks. But if you're limiting it in the time that it takes to accumulate the wild cards, or by how expensive the packs are, you're doing it wrong, because people aren't going to spend $1 a pack to make, they're not going to spend $100, and it's probably going to take more to create, just as an example, create like 3 decks from that, but it's going to take more than $100 definitely to be able to build a couple of decks the way everything is priced right now. And that's keeping people, they're missing out on the cash cow that is the obvious route that most new players would be enticed into taking, which is let's build some nice meta decks that have the chance to hold their own. But oh, look at this wildcard system and how like it's a good system, but the amount of time and or money that it would take to accumulate what you need in order to build those decks that you want to build. Like, say you can have, I'd say the average account would want to have at least 3 different decks that are really good and really meta and fun to play with. And they're missing out on that cash cow by having everything so highly overpriced, because now people are just like me, are just going to play it as a free-to-player, and they're going to just wait however long it takes and build the one deck that they wanted to build. Or, do like I'm doing now and have multiple accounts so you can have your different decks across those different accounts. Because at $1 a pack, it's not worth it. Under no circumstances is it worth it. Again, except for the whales, but again, I feel like the metrics are lying to them, or they're just making a more cancerous system in the pursuit of like a few more dollars. Like, I've got the theory that it's just as an example that it's like they're going after the 20 million instead of the 18 million or the 15 million or whatever the metric, whatever the extrapolated math is telling them that they'll make going one route or another. And so they're going the let's make $20 million route, even if it's a subpar system that's horrifically overpriced, or the end user experience is worse than the other route that would net us less income, but would have, like, we'd be making a better product. And that's part of, kind of philosophical ramble aside, that's part of what I think the biggest kind of hindrance is to just kind of unfettered capitalism, where it goes where the money is, and that's it. There's no other metric given weight aside from what can make money. Look at, I won't go into that ramble, so I'll spare you all for that. It's just, I like, you guys, you could have done better with how much everything costs in this behemoth. And the minimum you can do, there's 3 things you need to do, I feel. All right. And I guess I'll make this kind of my closing remarks, because it's getting long here. We're at over 30 minutes. The 3 things you need to do is, 1, cut the price of everything in half. That's going to get a lot more money in your coffers if you at least cut it in half. I would say cut it down to a third and you'll make even more money, but at least a half. Second thing, get rid of this gap. Get rid of this gap in gems where it just goes up 2-fold instead of 1-fold for rares. Where instead of, for cosmetics, instead of, so 400 for commons, 600 for uncommons, and then it jumps to 1,000 for rares. Don't do that jump. Just make it, one amount. Get rid of the jump. Just bring it down some. And I hesitate to use real numbers because I guess the third, no, I remember what the third thing is. But, the first and the second thing go together. So you're going to want to go ahead and reduce the cost of cosmetic upgrades to, like, for example, let me just get to an uncommon or common. So, geez, really? Can't purchase that either. How about Teo? Okay. So instead of 600 for, you know what? I'll go even further because I wouldn't even do it that way. Like, start at, so number 2, sorry for the ramble. I'm back now. Number 2, change the pricing of your cosmetic upgrades from, oh my god, come on. Whatever. Change the pricing of your cosmetic upgrades to as follows. Commons, 100 gems. Uncommons, 200 gems. Rares, 300 gems. Mythics, 400 gems. Nice, easy math. It cuts the price down even more and makes it more enticing for people to buy. And the third thing is throw in a single copy. If someone gets a cosmetic upgrade, just give them a copy, and you'll sell more rares and mythic cosmetic upgrades that way even too, because that's what people need are the rares and mythics. You know, give them a single copy to go with it because that's value to them. Give them make it so they don't have to spend a wild card to make that card. Just throw in a single card. Don't give them a playset. Just put a little cherry on top. Say, you know, here's a free bone. Here's a bone that we're throwing at you, and the bone is just a copy of the card you're getting a cosmetic upgrade to. It's that simple. So I think that's the bare minimum they could do. I think they should even try to make pricing even a little lower. I mean, I like what I suggested for the pricing with the cosmetic upgrades, but even if everything just gets cut in half, including where the cosmetic prices are now, I guess that's better than where things were. But again, things need to be cut in half, and give them a copy. If they get a cosmetic upgrade, give them a copy of the card. Just do it. There's so little reasoning not to. So, sorry that one went a little longer than usual. I guess another thing I wanted to touch on real quick is just this. It looks like the top row of levels here for the mastery tree, it looks like that's going to be what's replacing the weekly packs you can win, which I don't agree with that at all, because if you do the math, free-to-players net less packs. Let's see, you get a pack every day just from this, so 36, or not pack every day, pack every other day. 36 packs total over the course of, I mean, it nets you slightly less packs, and I mean, if you get 30 packs, and then if you buy 36 packs, and then if you buy the mastery tree at the end of the season, you get 30 more packs worth of value. Yeah, you're close to doubling what you would just have gotten normally. So that makes it even more enticing to get the pass eventually. But I don't know. Maybe we'll get lucky and Sunday rolls around and this will actually reset and we'll see this little box of the free pass. Or I could be completely wrong because I went ahead and got on all of my accounts the 3 booster packs a week that you're allowed. So maybe other people already see that it's gone now. That could be what's happened. But yeah, final note. It's pretty foolish of them to entice people to come in every day and play to get these rewards. It's smart that they put so much XP into the daily goals, which is, 4/5 of a level, 800 XP for completing that daily goal. But the fact that it can still only accumulate 3 at a time, you're making it so that people have to sign in at least once every 3 days if they want to stay on top of that. But just the fact that this XP is really locked behind that it's really locked behind the pretext of, okay, as long as you're signing in every day you're getting these levels. That was the wrong call, because all this, here's the thing about the mastery tree. For someone like me, it's like a good thing / a neutral thing. Because again, you're getting once every 3 months the opportunity to buy 30 packs for $10. And it's like, all right, as a free-to-player who plays every day, sure, I'll go ahead and get it, but it's like, you could also take it or leave it. It's not that earth-shattering, because it's not like you can just buy however many packs you want at $3 or at $1 every 3 packs. There's a cap of you get that value for 30 packs if you've played every day and gotten all the level ups. And so I'm the type of player that this appeals to, but you're missing the people that just don't sign in every day and don't play, and that's pretty foolish, to be completely honest. Like, if you could, they should have had a system that wasn't capped daily. like to where you could just grind for a while and get to, level 100 if you wanted to, or even have it once every month you can only get up to level 30. So you could grind, you could take 1 month in a day, or hell, even, I mean, the math wouldn't add up, but make it so that you can only grind 10 levels in a week. So the people who sign on once a week, I mean, I get that they're already enticed to sign on at least every 3 days because of the dailies that usually show up here. I get that because it doesn't accumulate past 3, but to make changes that make it even more punishing to not sign up more frequently is the wrong direction to take this kind of cash grab into, because again, it's not a bad system. Like, it's good slash fine. There's nothing amazing about it. I don't know why Desolator is like, oh my god, look at all this value you get, look at all these cosmetics. Again, people are not going to buy these cosmetics under normal circumstances because it's so overpriced. But now I've officially gotten to the part where I've come full circle and I'm starting to repeat myself. So I'll just cut it off here. Yeah, long story short on all of this, haha, it's definitely not short, is that the Mastery Pass is fine, but it's not anything amazing. And I feel like we're going to see an update to this to be something better. Because, again, they're not. The biggest hindrance of Wizards, the biggest hindrance for Wizards on putting out this kind of an update to the Season Pass gimmick is punishing people for not signing in every day. Because if you have people who even, let's say, sign in every 3 days, okay, and play every 3 days to get those rewards, I mean, it's becoming less of an incentive to buy, because then you're only going to get to a max. You're making the cost per pack more the less people sign in, and to just try to, I guess it doesn't affect the people who would sign in like every 3 days that much, but if you just have like weekend players, you know, they're not going to buy it, because let's say someone plays every weekend, once every weekend, and they get, let's say half of the experience. Let's say they play, Saturday and Sunday, and they get half of the experience that they would have total accumulated. That means that they'd, instead of getting 30 packs for $10, they're then getting 15 packs for $10. It's actually more than $10 because they're not getting up to the gems even too. So it's actually more than that. So let's just throw out a random number like $12, $13. So you're telling me that those people have the opportunity to buy 15 booster packs at 15-ish booster packs at, no, about 15, I guess. 15 booster packs at 20% off? Woo effing who? Like, it's a good system for the people that are trying to get the maximum value out of their free play. And I get why maybe that's your demographic, but I also think it's foolish to exclude the other demographics by having this maximum amount of XP you can earn a day. It's not smart. That's all I got for this long ass effing video. DDR guy out.